devastation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. No one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors, no one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors.
Who jumps out of a cage mid-fight? I mean, honestly.
It's rare we get to include like national news story kind of stuff, but as soon as I saw that, I'm like, you know what, we got to bring it to the Cage Nation. That fight was in Brazil. You can clearly see the guy tries to time out. Referee's really not having any of it because you can't really time out in the middle of a fight.
No, not really.
So the guy jumps out of the cage. Now I promise you one thing, Drew. If that were at the Jaffa Mosque in Altoona, Pennsylvania, Jack B. Nimble would not be fighting in the state ever again.
He would not.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Cage Nation TV. Of course, I am your host and elected official, Albert Cameron. Beside me, as always, is the Prime Minister of just being awesome, Drew Shannon. Drew, how you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good looking. Very good looking. This is the second week of the Pink Out. Last week, I think, was a resounding success. We're showing our support, our solidarity against such an ugly word and ugly disease, and we're bringing the knowledge to the masses, and we appreciate all of the support you guys have shown.
Yes.
I think that's fantastic of them.
Susan G. Komen, Komen for the Cure, and of course the American Cancer Society. Check them both out. Make a donation this month. Everyone is in some way, shape, or form affected by this dreaded disease, and we would like to see a stop to this disease. Do what you can, even if you volunteer. Show your support behind the cause and the fight against cancer. And all month long, we are going pink. We've got the pink ties going. We've got the pink logo. We've got the pink ribbon. Do your part to help. Make a donation to the American Cancer Society, to the Komen for the Cure Foundation. Even if you volunteer in their name. Even that's a big help to a lot of people.
Those little contributions make the biggest difference.
Exactly.
It really does. Coming up on Cage Nation TV this week, Drew, we got the hot topic. Speaking of going out there and doing your part in supporting, we're going to talk about our hot topic is local events, promotions, and personalities going out and doing their part.
Right.
And really supporting the cause of beating an ugly disease. We've got the newsreel as always, and we're debuting a brand new segment, Drew.
What do we do?
We are bringing you the Cameron Underground. In this head of mine, I've got some crazy knowledge about fights, about fighters, about things that have gone on.
Right.
So I'm digging deep in the annals of Albert Cameron history, and I'm bringing you fights and news about fighters that you may not have seen otherwise, all part of the Underground.
Hang on, let me check the script. Oh, that is annals. I thought there was...
No.
Never mind.
Wow.
Anyways, all of that coming up next on Cage Nation TV. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere.
It's time for another edition of Cage Nation TV Newsreel, spanning the globe to bring you the latest news in MMA.
Bullies beware. Professional mixed martial artists are looking to put a stop to bullying. Complete Devastation MMA and Altoona multimedia firm Nova 6 Studios are partnering with Family Services Inc. of Blair County for a program titled FSI MMA Heroes. The program is aimed to bring in awareness and support to stop bullying in social settings. The partnership will include a free open house at the Jaffa Shrine on November 16th prior to the return of Complete Devastation MMA. Confirmed for the event are Powerhouse Gyms Dignan Brumbai MMA and Genesis MMA providing demonstrations. There are meet and greets, autographs, and information on how to get the children of Blair County into programs to benefit their early development and well-being. Well, the UFC and Electronic Arts are finding themselves in the business end of a THQ lawsuit. THQ, the developer of the UFC Undisputed video game series, is suing the MMA giant and the video game mogul Electronic Arts for unethical business practices. THQ is alleging that Electronic Arts used information obtained during a due diligence period when EA may have purchased THQ to approach the UFC with that financial information and negotiate a better licensing deal. The UFC had tried to strike a deal with EA when shopping their video game brand, and the deal between the two could not be met. The UFC signed with THQ, and EA got into bed with Strikeforce to produce the EA MMA title. Now that the licensing agreement with THQ has ended, the UFC has struck a deal with EA, and now THQ has reason to believe that foul play is involved. More on the situation as it's available. Is the Thunder rolling in World Series of Fighting? It's been a few weeks since UFC middleweight gatekeeper Yushin Thunder Okami was released by the Ultimate Fighting Championship. UFC President Dana White likened the release to that of John Fitch, saying that Okami had every opportunity to seize the middleweight crown and could not. The World Series of Fighting Executive VP and matchmaker Ali, last name unavailable, tweeted that Yushin Okami certainly had a home in the World Series of Fighting. It's important to mention this tweet was to gauge interest. No official contract has been offered or accepted. Well, this has been another edition of the Cage Nation TV Newsreel. Stay tuned for the latest in MMA news.
Since the dawn of furniture, there has been only one way to keep an infant from rolling off a couch or chair, and that is unsafely cramming cushions against the piece of furniture and hoping the baby doesn't work him or herself under them. Until now. Introducing the Zoster. The Zoster is a revolutionary infant safety product that easily wraps around a cushion to keep your baby from rolling off a couch or chair. The Zoster is made with a fleece material complete with a waterproof underneath to keep various liquids away from your upholstery. The Zoster is currently available in solid colors and pattern designs. You can order the Zoster online today at thezoster.com.
Welcome back to Cage Nation TV. Albert Cameron, Drew Shannon, and what do we have coming up right now, buddy?
The Cameron Underground.
The Cameron Underground.
Cameron Underground.
I feel like things are going to get down and dirty in the underground.
Absolutely. I'm sitting around thinking, in the producers' meeting of one, and I'm sitting around thinking, what?
I'm never invited to the producers' meetings.
That's because you're supposed to look good. You're eye candy and but that's all right. So I'm sitting around thinking, what can we bring new and inventive? And
can we bring?
Obviously, the opportunity is we need to bring fights to Cage Nation TV. So I'm thinking, wow, I got so many fights that I was like to bring. So I'm sitting at my desk, and I'm starting YouTube names I know. Mm-hmm. And one name that came up was Kyacey Uscola. And he's going to be fighting a gentleman whose name is very hard for my backwards Pennsylvania tongue to pronounce. So he goes by his nickname Professor X. Professor X is a former UFC fighter. Kyacey Uscola is a sport fight fighter.
Now the name I have here is Xavier Professor X Faupa Pokum. I believe that's how you pronounce it, as the globe comes up from the...
I'm going to call him Professor X.
Just stick with Professor X.
Because I'm a big fan of the X-Men. So we got Professor X versus Kyacey Ice Cold Uscola from Palace Fighting Championships. We're going live. Well, not live, but we're going to that fight right now.
Let's go.
I can't believe this fight is actually so early on the card. This could be one of the main bouts on any other card in the world. PFC bringing some of the greatest in the world, and these are some of the best middleweights.
Yeah, if you just tuned in to the stream now at Sherdog.com, it's the best time because Professor X, his Muay Thai is so good. Dan Henderson brought him into Team Quest Temecula to simulate Anderson Silva for their bout back at UFC 82.
You talk about a guy who's only lost one fight since 2006.
Good
Strong
kick there.
knees.
Both these guys have good power.
Uscola already displaying some redness around his left eye.
Uscola has a great wrestling background. Look, he already got the takedown there.
And this is where he wants to be.
Yeah,
Professor X is very strong with those knees.
I mentioned the improved ground skill of Professor X, and it looked like he was going for something there, decided to go back to full guard, and we'll see if he raises those hips up again.
Well, both these guys are really delivering some power when they hit each other. I mean, did you just hear the ground shot Kyacey delivered, that body shot?
And there's some blood as well. So those punches are landing with some vengeance.
And Kyacey needs to be wise here. He can't, he's on top, but he can't, afford to rest there. Professor X is going to throw some elbows there to the crown of his head. He's going to make him, work to stay in that position as well. The referee will stand him up, so he can't be comfortable there.
Professor X has, out of all his fights, 40% of them have ended in submission.
All right, we're getting a stand-up here halfway through the first round.
It's pretty quick stand-up, I thought, Eric. But, with these 3-minute rounds, the referee...
We're getting a timeout for a cut check right now.
Oh.
Kyacey has a cut over his left eye, I believe, from an elbow. The doctor's going to take a look at it. Kyacey's certainly a very tough competitor. I don't think a little bit of blood's going to scare him.
Now, from our vantage point, it looked like it was on the side, too. It shouldn't be a problem bleeding into his actual eye and impairing his vision. He says he wants to go.
Doctor's taking a close look at it. Not a lot of blood running from him, but that could just be a matter of time.
Looks like they're going to let the fight go on.
Look for Professor X to go right for that eye.
Now, it's interesting.
Yeah,
If that stand-up was for the cut, they should have started on the ground again.
No, I believe that center was for the lack of action or loss of guard
They were
passing.
stood up, yeah.
Ooh, look at that kick to the body.
Kyacey, though, he's a tough wrestler. Look at him. Get that clinch.
Professor X wants us back in the feet. Kyacey wipes the blood from his eye.
Kyacey needs to get another takedown here to finish his round if he wants to win the round.
Oh,
Good,
vicious
huge
knee. This
shot.
might be over.
That's it.
I think he has
Exactly
broken
what I
ribs from
told
that.
you
Wow.
earlier.
Wow. Did you see that flying knee?
Main thing I told you was watch the knee. He's a champion at that.
There's a reason that Dan Henderson sought his services to simulate Anderson Silva. That was vicious.
Wow.
And there you go, Professor X getting the Duke over the Iceman.
Ice cold.
Ice cold.
Ice cold.
Ice cold.
Chuck Liddell was the Iceman. Kyacey Uscola was ice cold.
Ice cold.
Ice cold. Kyacey Uscola really sticks out in my mind for a couple of reasons.
Because he's ice cold.
That too.
Ice cold.
I mean, as much as I enjoyed the Iceman, Kyacey Uscola was indeed ice cold. So
Ice cold.
Whenever The Ultimate Fighter came out, I was a very big fan of just MMA
Ice cold.
being on TV.
Right.
So I trolled the Ultimate Fighter forums a lot, and Kyacey Uscola was actually very, very prevalent on the Ultimate Fighter forum. So was Josh Berkman, the People's Warrior and World Series of Fighting kind of mainstay. You wouldn't believe it, but the Ultimate Fighter was really, really built around Randy Couture's camp, Team Quest in Oregon.
Okay.
Near the Gresham, Oregon area. And as much as we have a following in Altoona for Complete Devastation MMA, in Pittsburgh for Gladiators of the Cage and Pinnacle Fighting Championships, in Gresham, Oregon, there was a really big fight scene built around sport fight. And Kyacey Uscola really kind of participated. Kyacey did a lot of good work. He didn't make any season as the Ultimate Fighter, but he did his best, and he really never got past mid-level. What I loved about Kyacey Uscola was he was not afraid to tell it how it was and really kind of vent his anger to anyone who would listen. So, unfortunately, Kyacey didn't get the win in this fight, but, if you get a chance to YouTube a Kyacey Uscola fight, I highly recommend it. The kid's got talent. I don't know how far he's going to take this far. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was in the International Fight League. I know Benji Raddick was. Benji Raddick, Chris Lieben, Nate the Rock Quarry, certainly Kyacey Uscola, Josh Berkman, was all in this sport fight scene. So sport fight was to Gresham, Oregon, is what Gladiators of the Cage was to Pittsburgh. To kind of put it in perspective. Okay. I think Kyacey Uscola might have been in the IFL, but that's a little history on Kyacey Uscola and the Sport Fight League.
Look at you.
That's why they call it the Cameron Underground.
Because there's sounds laid down by the underground. We'll drink up all the Hennessy you got in your shelf. So just let me introduce ourselves. He's Albert Cameron. I'm Drew Shannon. You're watching Cage Nation TV.
Yes!
And,
We're going to take a couple minutes. We're going to talk to our friends.
I'm a fan of the digital underground. What can I say?
Hey, it was good.
What you like.
It was good. We're going to take a second and get a brief message from our friends, YouTube's Mike Edwards and the X-Men, and then we're going to get into the hot topic of local guys right here in our region doing great things for their communities.
Stick around. Cage Nation TV, episode number 2 of the Pink Out edition, continues in just a moment.
Hello, MMA fans. Look, people, MMA fans. And we're wrestling guys on an MMA show. Holy moly. What's this world coming to? We want to take this time and thank Drew Shannon and Albert Cameron.
We do?
Yeah.
All right,
for allowing us a little bit of their time here on Cage Nation Television to promote the Pro Wrestling Rundown. Do I have to do all the talking here?
Come on, guys. Show us a little bit of love. We're showing you some love. We know that they're a crossover fan, so catch us on our YouTube channel. What is it again, X?
YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Rundown.
Hope to see you there.
Welcome back to Cage Nation TV. Of course, want to give a shout out to Mr. Mike Edwards, YouTube's Mike Edwards, for inviting us out to lunch this past weekend. You weren't able to go.
I wasn't there, but I'm told you guys went to one of my favorite restaurants in town.
Yes, Are You Hungry? You stay in college.
Those guys are fantastic.
Excellent food. And we had a great time. Got to talk over a little bit of pro wrestling, got to talk about our respective shows and some cool things coming up in the near future. We can't reveal what those cool things are, but maybe a new look, maybe something like that. I don't know. You're just gonna have to stay tuned to find out.
Absolutely.
All right, what do we got now?
Well, we're going to talk about some great things that are being done in the community, like right now in our area by people involved with mixed martial arts, which is incredible. I mean, it's all in the spirit of coming together as, I don't want to say human interest, but people coming together to support other people.
A common cause.
A common cause, right. I mean, you and I are wearing pink ties, we're showing our solidarity, and there's a lot of other groups out there. In the Cage Nation TV newsreel, Nova 6, a multimedia firm in Altoona, and Complete Devastation are getting involved with the Family Services Inc. MMA Heroes program.
Right, it's an anti-bullying campaign.
Anti-bullying campaign. They're going to be doing like a free meet and greet at the Jaffa Mosque before Complete Devastation MMA 9. So the fighters are on the card. Everyone's so supportive about it. Local youths from the Blair County area are going to be able to go in and meet guys and just get information on how they can do some positive things for their early development and for their well-being, which I think that is absolutely huge. Charlie Gathers is all about supporting anti-bullying.
Yes, he
the
is.
Lionheart, Paul Riggleman. All these guys are getting on board, which bullying sucks.
It does.
There's really no need for it anymore either.
No, there isn't.
I mean, when I was a kid, if you're going to get bullied, you had to get bullied to your face, which, sucked anyway. But it's better than coming home and having social media, bringing it home with you.
Right. Cyberbullying is even, and who would have thought about this like years and years ago that, I mean, kids could do such, harm
Absolutely.
like this. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Back when I was a kid, yeah, it was, there was the bully and, you would get picked on and,
you get to go home to your safe place.
You would get to go home to your safe place. You could, you go to the teacher, you go to your parents and stuff like that. And the bullying would be dealt with. But these days, kids are just a lot different now.
Yeah.
It's a lot different. It's a lot different of a battleground, for lack of a better word. And I mean, something has to be done to just eradicate this whole thing. This whole thing.
The truly sad thing of it is, Drew, I mean, like, our audience right now is watching us on YouTube or Facebook, okay?
Right.
Not even 10 years ago, certainly not even 15 years ago, this kind of broadcasting wasn't even heard of.
Right.
Certainly not when we were kids. Could you ever imagine, with the right kind of camera and internet connection, you'd be seen to a potentially audience of global millions.
Mm-hmm.
So we have technology to gain access to copious amounts of information around the world.
Right.
And we're using it to make people feel bad about each other. That is just terrible.
If you're going to do something with social media, do something for good.
Right, exactly. So now we've got professional fighters who, let's call it what it is, they kick ass for a living.
Right.
They absolutely kick ass for a living, and they're making a stand against bullying. So if you got someone who's heavy-handed like Charlie Gathers or Paul Riggleman saying, "Hey, I'm not going to put up with bullying," what chance do bullies have? So we're getting kids with some opportunities for some great early development. We're getting in with the right kind of influences, with guys who are martial artists, who understand that kind of great stuff. And that, my friends, is just fantastic. So the MMA Heroes, they're actually going to be going to schools with kids. Complete Devastation is a very supportive partner about that. And I think that is fantastic. I think that is...
I do as well.
I think they're doing great work. And I honestly think that having that sort of interaction with a young kid who doesn't know which direction his life's taking, I think that's really going to be the turning point for a lot of kids who don't know what direction they're headed in.
Right.
And it's going to make a lot of positive changes, which I think that is fantastic.
And we salute them and their efforts. And
we're totally going to be supporting them there too. I mean,
exactly.
We're going to be like there at the Jaffa Mosque all day, and I'm excited to see like these interactions and all these kind of stuff.
Same here. I'd like to interact.
I would.
I'd be perfectly honest. I mean, from a couple of kids, who can testify to the, to bullying and stuff like that.
It sucks, absolutely.
It does.
So, Complete Devastation is doing all these great things. But then, MMA fighter Doug Haupt, the Ninja Bear Doug Haupt, is
I like that nickname.
I do too. I think it's fantastic. Doug Haupt is going out and he's trying to make his own personal impact, and he's gotten so much support, mine included. I know that we're both very supportive of cause.
Sure.
Doug's going to hospitals and he's doing things to rally these kids as spirits to keep them up. So, in the early 90s when MMA started, because again, MMA is celebrating their 20 years in the United States here very, very soon.
Right.
In the 20 years, we've gone from MMA is a brutal blood sport, bare knuckle, bare-fisted, this is terrible, we should get it banned and kicked off cable. The local guys who really don't owe anybody anything going out and extending themselves to make a better impact on their fellow human beings.
Right.
That is why that we as MMA fans, we're caring people. You know, we really, really are. And to Doug Help and to Complete Devastation, I certainly applaud you guys. You guys are doing great work, and I'm very, very proud of you.
If I had a hat on right now, I would tip it to you.
Certainly.
So
to those of us out there in the Cage Nation, if we have an opportunity to support Doug Help's cause, fighting for a cure, or to be a part of an anti-bullying campaign,
or anything that helps out kids or helps out the less fortunate, anything that helps your fellow man, by all means support it, get behind it, and not only does it help your fellow man, it helps your neighbors, your friends, people you don't even know. It also helps MMA as well.
Oh, certainly. I mean, it's really just, we don't like to go out and toot our own horn, but it's certainly shedding the light on us that, hey, we're not bloodthirsty people.
We're not bloodthirsty, we're not barbarians, we're not out to kick ass and just beat the holy crap out of somebody.
We're not out picking street fights.
Exactly.
We're all about fighting for our better man. So, they tried banning MMA, well, they couldn't stop us. They tried to regulate us to the point where we couldn't compete, they couldn't stop us. So we got bullying and serious diseases. You want to guess how that's going to go? They're not going to be able to stop us. So get out there and support those great causes. And that is my stance. I'm glad to be able to take a moment to kind of speak on the pulpit about those two great causes and how proud I am to be involved with those kind of guys.
We're both very proud to be involved with those kind of guys. Fantastic. We look forward to talking about even more good work that MMA is doing for people out there. If you've got a charitable cause that you want to promote, hit us up on our Facebook page. Hit us up, email us, let us know about it, and we will gladly spread the word.
Certainly. I mean, great work deserves that kind of attention. We're happy to bring it to them.
Exactly.
I think this has been a great episode of Cage Nation TV. I think the newsreels had a lot of great news in it. I love watching fights, and we got to talk about some really heartwarming causes. Drew, I'm calling this one a win.
All right. Well, we're calling this a wrap.
Absolutely.
Join us next week for another edition of Cage Nation TV. I'm trying to hold in a cough right now because I've been sick. So for Albert Cameron, I'm Drew Shannon.
Make sure you wear your pink. We'll see you guys next week right here on Cage Nation TV. Thank you, guys.
We forgot something.
Yeah. These are gloves autographed by UFC legend Dan the Beast Severn. He was UFC 5 tournament champion. He autographed these gloves. Gladiators of the Cage is partnering with us, Cage Nation TV, to be able to get these gloves into your hands. It's just as easy as going to the link below, cagenationtv.com/survey. Take a couple seconds, give us some information about yourself, what you think. We want to know what your opinion is, and to say thank you, we're going to enter you in a drawing to win memorabilia from an MMA legend who was doing it before we ever thought we were going to be able to see MMA as easily as what we did.
Keep in mind, if you're entering this information, we will not share it with anybody. We're not in the business of sharing third-party information, so you won't have to worry about getting emails from the Prince of Nairobi offering you a $10 million fortune or anything like that.
Did he email you that too?
Dude, it's...
No. Oh. Anyway.
You probably respond to the Viagra ones too, don't you?
You're not supposed to?
Fill out the survey. One person will be selected at random to win these awesome gloves, signed by Dan Severn.
The sweepstakes, I guess you call it, is going to November 15th. On November 20th, we're going to be drawing a name and contacting you, hopefully you, and saying, hey, you've won a pair of Dan Severn gloves, let's get them to you.
And you can either keep them in the package, or you can go and fight with them on...
I don't recommend doing that.
No, I don't recommend doing that.
No, don't do that.
No.
But it would be your stuff. I mean, I can't tell you what to do with it.
Can't tell you what to do with it.
No.
It's your stuff.
All right, so get to cagenationtv.com/survey.
You don't even know what it is.
Get your information in there, and good luck to you. Hopefully you win.
Let's go. Welcome to the Cage Nation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. Welcome to the
It's Halloween time, kids. Welcome
to another episode of Cage Nation TV.